everyone, I am Kaylin from ECE Students, and today I am joined by Michel Willems from Bimbimbikes. Michel, it's so nice to have you here.
Thank you.
So we're going to start off. What is the fundamental idea behind your company, and what is it that you do?
What I do? Well, I'm the co-founder or founder of Bimbimbikes, so I do all kind of stuff. In the beginning, you really do all kind of stuff, like the trash can, but also the vision and all operational stuff. I'm the CEO, that's my role. The fundamental idea, well, the easiest way to explain that is how the idea came to me. I was in San Francisco, fully in love with my wife. We booked everything online. And I told her, hey, do you remember the time, I'm an old guy, so do you remember the time that we had a Lonely Planet that was outdated, and then we went to a specific place and it was already gone? And yes, and we laughed about it, and we were still in love, so it's still charming to go together on vacation. Then we wanted to rent a bike. And I took my mobile phone and I couldn't book a bike. And I thought, hey, what's happening here? We just talked about it. I have a web development agency as well. So yeah, it's not so strange that I think about a bike should be bookable. No problem. We found a bike rental store on, or at least the address. We came in, no bikes anymore. Boom. What do you do when your wife is disappointed? You find a solution, in my case. Very practical. So that's Bimbimbikes. We are the booking.com of bike rental. We don't own any bike, but through our platform you can reserve a bike. You can compare providers like booking.com. You compare the Hilton to the budget hotel, where it is, the reviews, prices, and things like that. You do that with bikes. We just take a commission on every order. Yeah. It's a very long answer to your very short question.
No, that is fine. Actually, when did you found the company, and how has it developed?
2015 we started, May 2015. And right now we are active in 88 countries, more than 1,700 cities and villages and towns and whatever. So the network grew quite fast.
But you have your headquarters based here in Rotterdam at the Science Tower. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you find was the main struggle or obstacle that you experienced during founding this company?
In my case, there are always a lot of obstacles, but that's fun. That's why you're an entrepreneur. It's difficult. People say you're crazy, so you do it. But in my case, I have two companies. In the beginning that was easy because there is already an office. We have web developers, those kind of things. But when Bimbimbikes started to grow, it needed more attention. But the other company needed attention as well. Well, luckily I'm not alone. My co-founder could do a lot. So otherwise it would have been a problem. But for me, the biggest problem is to dedicate the right time to both companies. And I think on the long term, a lack of focus will be a brake on the growth of Bimbimbikes or the other company. So that's my biggest struggle.
Okay.
In personal life.
Yeah. And at the moment...
My wife agrees. Sorry, you
can continue.
No, my wife agrees.
Oh, she agrees? And now that you say you've got two companies that you're working on, how would you see Bimbimbikes in 5 years' time? Do you see it growing? Do you see it, do you see you spending more time on Bimbimbikes or on your web, what is it, a web design?
Web development.
Yeah, web development. Do you see yourself spending more time on Bimbimbikes or the web development company?
Well, I'm still struggling with that, so I don't know. So how do I see Bimbimbikes? The dream of Bimbimbikes is every bike that is temporarily available in the world should be Bimbimbable. Currently, those are traditional bike rental stores, but my dream is that all the sharing bikes with the smart locks should be Bimbimbable as well. So everywhere in the world, small, lean organization, just as an aggregator. So we have to dedicate a lot of time. I say we. because that's the answer. I think I'm in love with both companies, and actually starting the new company, which is Bimbimbikes, helped me to see the beauty of the first company again. I maybe started a new company because after some time you don't see that anymore. So it's good that we don't compare this with relationships, because then no, let's talk about it. Otherwise my wife wouldn't.
Yeah.
But so the answer is probably that I would be spending even more time just on strategy and leading it a little bit from a distance, and find very good people that do that for me. Yeah, I'm starting to get old, you know. I don't want to. No. I really like to do the practical things as well. But as we grow, I can't do that anymore.
All right. How would you personally define entrepreneurship?
Ooh, okay. There are a lot of, depending on the day, I could give another answer. But what comes in mind is creating things that weren't there before. So in that sense, a fashion designer could be an entrepreneur as well. At least it's creating something. The next step is, it's not only creating something, but in a sense that you design it, but really let it happen. So all the operational stuff that you have to arrange, whether you do it yourself or not, you're responsible for that. So that's, I think, it's not a complete picture, but that came into mind at the first. And
do you think that being an entrepreneur has made you into a better person?
Whoa! Yeah, we entrepreneurs are great people. Now, let me tell something a little bit more personal. When I had more or less your age, or a couple of years more, I started my first company, and I was very enthusiastic, and I think that some people around me really liked that, because it brought the best into me. It doesn't say that if somebody is becoming an entrepreneur, is becoming a better person, but if you do something that really is you, that you're really passionate about, then you could be a better person. However, then the first successes came, and I had my first entrepreneurship was actually a little bit more freelancing, and I did interim management kind of jobs, and at the age of 27 I had to reorganize a very big call center. At that time call centers were hip.
Yeah.
We're talking a long time ago. And it was a difficult job. I was 27 years old, too much gel in my hair to compensate, and wearing suits. And it was a very difficult job, and everybody thought, that little guy, he will never do that because he's too young. I had success with that, and I was really happy about it. So happy that maybe in personal life, I was not a better person. I had to fire a lot of people. Not the nicest job in life. And then I came home, and there were friends with little problems, according to me, little problems. And I really lost my empathy. And then, to really answer your question, the first time that I failed setting up a company, because I thought I could do everything after that specific job. I started another company, changing the world. It was not very successful. I didn't went bankrupt, but I stopped the company. I finally became a better person because I became a little bit more humble again.
What advice can you give to other young, inspiring entrepreneurs?
Other young, inspiring entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I'm trying to compliment you here.
Thank you. Is that a young or no? Advice. Well, what I learned is it's very important to be a little bit stubborn. People will say to you, no, that's not possible, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes you just have to go for it, blah, blah, blah. But that's the cliche answer. The problem really appears when you are too stubborn. when you are not willing to learn from your failures, or if you don't listen to feedback, you have to listen to feedback, not too much, because otherwise you will never start or will never continue, but you have to see what's behind. And so you have to be stubborn enough to start and have your dream, and to live your dream as well, because for most people, entrepreneurship is a way of life. It will really be a big part of life, and there's a little offer in that as well. But okay. The other way is you shouldn't be so stubborn that you can't change your dream. So agile and flexible from one side, but not too agile and flexible.
Okay.
And it took me quite some years to really understand that.
So you consider to be an entrepreneur is more of a process that you learn over time. It's just not something you can really go into immediately.
That applies for entrepreneurship and everything.
Everything, yeah.
Life is a process.
Life is a process, that's true.
Don't use that as the quote, because that's quite general.
What has been your most satisfying moment in business?
A lot. I have a lot of satisfying. This is not the most satisfying, because there are so many satisfying moments, but with every new project, it's the first paying customer. I do remember that at the day that Mercedes-Benz became customer of H1, the web development agency, we also had our first paying customer at Bimbimbikes. And whereas Mercedes-Benz was a huge project and a great name and good, it was not the first customer of the web development agency. I was so happy with the first paying customer that I didn't know, because I don't like friends that rent a bike out of a pity. I really wanted customers that have that need. I earned €1.50, and it was maybe one of the most satisfying moments of entrepreneurship of the last 3 years.
Well, that concludes our interview. Thank you so much for joining us here today. On behalf of ECE students, I've enjoyed this interview a lot. I've learned a lot, and I hope that other people can also watch this and learn from you.
Thank you. I'm very curious about the next one.
Yeah,
because I want to learn as well.
We'll get in touch.
Okay. I have some other things as well, but I keep them for myself. Yeah, sorry. No, audience, I will never tell them.
We also need to keep this PG, so.
Yeah.